me cover what's going on in the solar panel. And when we're thinking about solar energy, I think a good analogy to all the technical details is if you've ever seen a bicyclist on the street at an intersection. And when the light turns green and the cyclist starts out, sometimes you'll see him stand up on the pedals, and before he gets moving, the pedals aren't moving at all, even though he's exerting a lot of force. And when that happens, when a cyclist is putting a lot of force on the pedals, but the bike isn't moving, he's actually not doing any work. Also, when a cyclist starts going really fast, his feet start spinning really fast, and unless he changes to a lower gear, he's not going to be putting out any energy either, because you can only pedal so fast. So somewhere in the middle, between pedaling fast and not pedaling at all, is the maximum energy that a cyclist can exert on the bike. And you'd be surprised that same relationship exists in a lot of alternative energy, both windmill and solar. And when we're thinking about how solar works, it works the same way because there's an analogy of speed when it has to do with electricity, which is the voltage that comes out of the solar panel. And typically you'll see a graph like this with the solar panel, where the speed of the electrons coming out is over here, and the amount of electricity is coming out over here. And so what happens is that as you draw out more energy, the speed slows down to the point where it gets to a knee. And the maximum amount of energy, which is called the MPP, occurs in a very narrow part. And what happens is that if you draw energy out of the solar panel at a point slightly to the left or slightly to the right, the energy that the solar panel can produce drops off by a huge amount. Now this technique, called the maximum power point regulation, is something which is known in the solar industry. It's expensive, it's complicated, but oftentimes in large systems you do see it. What we've done at SensibleSolarPower.com is we've come up with a new, novel kind of MPP regulation, which adds an interesting new twist.